Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Yarnoculus. This is part 3 of my Sweet Dreams blanket pattern, and today we are going to do row number 23 to row number 32. But before we get to the pattern, if you landed here directly, this is part 3 of a long series where we're going to make this entire blanket together, and I would highly recommend you to check out parts number 1 and 2, which will get you up to speed and give you all the required information on what materials you need, how to do a bobble stitch, how big is this blanket, and everything else. I release one episode every week, so it would be a good idea to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet, so you don't miss an update and we can have a lot of fun crocheting together. Alright, with all that said, let's get to our work in progress blanket and complete the next set of rows. Let's go. Okay guys, so far so good. At the end of row number 22, you would see the lower half of your hearts come out really nice and beautiful. So we are all set to do row number 23. As usual, chain 1, turn your work, do 3 single crochets in the first 3 stitches. Followed by a bobble stitch. Okay, and then after that we need to do 3 single crochets. So 1, 2 and 3, followed by a bobble, followed by 9 single crochets, a bobble after that, and 3 single crochets after that. End the box with a bobble, seven single crochets. That's gonna be in between your 2 boxes. And that's gonna be your repeat for row number 23. So we started with 3 single crochets, 1 bobble, 3 single crochets, 1 bobble, 9 single crochets, 1 bobble, 3 single crochets, 1 bobble, and 7 single crochets. Do this for the whole of row number 23. You know how to end this. Just like all other rows, after the bobble stitch you're gonna get 4 single crochets, so do that, and then you're gonna do row number 24 as well, which is gonna be a row of single crochet in every stitch. Okay, so let's finish this real quick and we'll see what we need to do for row number 25 onwards. Alright, so far so good. That's how my work looks at the end of row number 24, and we can now proceed to row number 25. So row number 25 and 26 are gonna be exactly identical to rows number 23 and 24 that you just did. So go ahead and repeat rows number 23 and 24 once again, which means for row number 25 you're gonna start with chain 1, turn your work, do 3 single crochets, 1 bobble stitch, 3 single crochets, 1 bobble stitch, 9 single crochets, 1 bobble, 3 single crochets, 1 bobble, and 7 single crochets. Repeat that till you reach the last bobble stitch, and you're gonna get 4 single crochets to end this row. Okay, row number 26 is gonna be an even row, which means it's just gonna be a row of single crochet in every stitch. Alright, just make sure that you have 130 single crochets on that row and on every even row, and you'll be on the right track for this pattern. Okay, I'm gonna finish up these 2 rows real quick, and I will see you when I'm at the start of row number 27. Okay guys, so that's how my work looks at the end of row number 26, and we are all set to start with row number 27. Okay, so for row number 27, chain 1, turn your work and start with 3 single crochets in the first 3 stitches. Put a bobble stitch in the next stitch. And then after that we need to do 3 single crochets. So put 3 single crochets after the bobble. A bobble stitch next. Followed by 4 single crochets. A bobble stitch in the next stitch. Four single crochets again. And a bobble stitch after that. Okay, to end this box we need 3 more single crochets. And the last bobble stitch for the first box. Seven single crochets after that, like we do in between 2 boxes. And that's going to be your repeat for the whole of row number 27. So what we did was we started with a chain 1, turn your work, and 3 single crochets, 1 bobble stitch, 3 single crochets, 1 bobble stitch, 4 single crochets, 1 bobble stitch, 4 single crochets again, 1 bobble stitch, 3 single crochets, a bobble on the border of this box, 7 single crochets, and then you're gonna go ahead and repeat the same sequence again with your other boxes. Okay, so repeat this for the whole of row number 27. In the end, as usual, you're gonna get 4 single crochets after the last bobble stitch, and that's how you know your stitch counts are correct. And after that you're gonna do a chain stitch, turn your work, and do row number 28, which is gonna be a row of single crochet in every stitch. Okay, so do these 2 rows and meet me back when you are at the start of row number 29. Alright guys, this is how my work looks at the end of row number 28, and my hearts are looking as beautiful as ever. Okay, so I'm all set to start row number 29 and hope you are with me on this one. And let's go ahead and start row number 29. Okay, so for row number 29, the same drill again, chain 1, turn your work, start with 3 single crochets in the first 3 stitches. Followed by a bobble that marks the beginning of your first box. And then we need to do 4 single crochets. So do 4 single crochets in the next 4 stitches. Put a bobble in the next stitch. Okay, you need to do 2 single crochets next. A bobble in the next stitch. single crochet in the next stitch, and a bobble in the next. Okay, put 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches, and a bobble in the next. Alright, end this box with 4 single crochets. And a bobble to mark the border of this box. Okay, we always do 7 single crochets between 2 boxes, and that's what we're gonna do now as well. So put 1 single crochet each in the next 7 stitches. Okay, and that's gonna be your repeat for the whole of row number 29. So what we did was, after the chain 1 and turn, start with 3 single crochets, bobble stitch, 4 single crochets, bobble, 2 single crochets, bobble, 1 single crochet, bobble, 2 single crochets, bobble, 4 single crochets, bobble, and 7 single crochets. So that's gonna be your repeat for the whole of row number 29, and you're gonna do row number 30 as well, which is gonna be a row of single crochet in every stitch. So your heart motifs are almost done. With this, we just need a couple more rows after row number 30, and you're gonna see your beautiful hearts come to life. Okay, let me finish these two. You can pause the video here, and I'm gonna meet you back when we are all set to start with row number 31. Alright guys, at the end of row number 30, this is how beautiful my work looks. You can see the heart motif coming up really cute and beautiful, and that's exactly what we wanted. Okay, so now we are ready for row number 31, and for row number 31, as usual, you're gonna start with the chain stitch, turn your work, and 3 single crochets in the beginning. Okay, put a bobble stitch after that. Do 5 single crochets after the bobble. A bobble stitch after the 5 single crochets. And now, after this bobble stitch, we need to do a bobble stitch in the very next stitch, but to put this one into place, I'm gonna do a chain stitch in the next stitch, and that does not count as a stitch, and do a bobble stitch in the very same stitch. Okay, so you're gonna do a chain stitch and a bobble stitch in the next stitch. That will give you 2 bobble stitches next to each other, and then go ahead and do 3 single crochets next. After 3 single crochets, we again need 2 bobble stitches next to each other. So go ahead and make the first one. A chain stitch in the next, just to put this one into place, since we have to do a bobble in the very same stitch. Go ahead and do a bobble as well in that stitch. Okay, we get 2 bobble stitches next to each other. Next, we need to do 5 single crochets. After 5 single crochets, you're gonna be at the border of the box, and for the border of the box, we need to do another bobble. After that, you'll reach the space between the 2 boxes, which is always 7 single crochets. So go ahead, do 7 single crochets. and that's gonna be your repeat for the whole of row number 31, and that's also gonna finish your heart motif. Okay, so what we did was 3 single crochets, 1 bobble stitch, 5 single crochets, 2 bobble stitches separated by a chain stitch that does not count as a stitch, 3 single crochets, 2 bobble stitches again next to each other, 5 single crochets, 1 bobble stitch, 7 single crochets, and repeat the same thing for all the boxes on this row. Okay, so go ahead, do this row, which is gonna be your row number 31, and row number 32 is gonna be a row of single crochet in every stitch. I'm gonna quickly finish these 2 rows and we'll see what we need to do after that. Alright everyone, that's it for today. I'll be back soon with the next bunch of rows. Meanwhile, I would love to hear how your blankets are coming along, so do let me know about it in the comments below. I mentioned all the information on this project in the description for your reference, but if you have any questions about this project or crochet in general, do let me know about that as well in the comments below. Or you can reach out to me on Instagram. My handle is @yarnoculus. So that's it from me for today. Until next time, take care and happy crocheting.